Graders put on a show where they mimed getting shot by police. Fifth graders. Now, this isn't the first time PS 75's woke curriculum has come under scrutiny. The New York Post reports that students once performed a Palestinian folk dance critics say has terrorist ties. The school also has a rainbow room full of LGBT content, and that's for kindergarten and beyond, which students can use without parental consent, and an all-gender bathroom where boys reportedly harass girls on a routine basis. Outnumbered reached out to the school for comment, and here's what they said. We are investigating this situation. Emily, I hope this is a part of their investigation. These kids were shouting about Ferguson. Obama's DOJ, let me just quote, based on this investigation, the department has concluded that Darren Wilson's actions did not constitute prosecutable violations. So in other words, if you know the facts of this case, that's a pretty bad one to choose, not to mention that you are miming being shot by a police officer on a stage.
This horrific experience joins a long list of problems coming out of that school, and most of it is behind not only the principal, who makes $200,000 a year, but also a specific teacher who, in the words of one parent, is basically just driving the push to inculcate the students. She's the one that led the multicultural dance that has come to be associated with terrorism, where the kids stomped on the floor to mime stomping on the state of Israel. They have a rainbow room where kids can access it without the approval of parents. They have transgender or all-gender bathrooms where reportedly boys continue to harass girls. The list goes on, including buttons that announce their sexuality. So in childish scrawl, there are photos of buttons that say, "I'm bisexual." This is horrific and shocking. And mind you, the fourth graders, by the way, just got up there and sang like a Native American poetry. And then fifth graders come in and just all of a sudden things go to hell. This is what your tax dollars are paying for. This is what the school system has been blessed to do.
All right. So we just talked about these young girls. This is why the young girls and young women are out here acting a fool. All right. From our last segment, they're boys too. But folks, get your kids out of public school. Shelley, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's two different things. Let me say this. Number one, this is a public school. I think it's public school 075 on the Upper West Side or Upper East Side in New York City, where you typically have upscale families, high income earners up in those two areas on the Upper West and East Side of Manhattan. That's number one. Number two, my question was, I know the commentators are talking about how this teacher and this principal, where are the parents? Because the parents had to drop these children off. You can't tell me this is not the first time that this school has been known for something like this. The parents are actually bringing them to the performance, to the assembly, if you will. There are plenty of people in that auditorium, I'm certain, that live amongst that community. So this is not an outrage for them. It's an outrage for us. But again, it confirms to me, like we're seeing in parts of New York, as far as the election, the Mondami. This is why I say either New Yorkers are okay with it, or something else is just not right, or something. But we're not getting the full story. But to me, it sounds like New Yorkers are by and large okay with this. This is a public school. It has happened before. It's going on, and there's zero outrage about it, except for what you're hearing on these clips right here.
Yeah. Nicole, what are your thoughts on what we saw?
It's luxurious to come from a wealthy family and have outdated, outlandish kind of politics, because like Shelley was saying, the Upper West Side, these children have the luxury of really screwing up a community and then packing their stuff up and moving to a red state to live again. What you don't realize is little Johnny, who's pointing to a mountaintop and miming being shot by a cop, maybe he'll be elected. Maybe one day he'll grow up to be mayor of New York City. And when he ruins New York City, he'll pack up his stuff and let's say, move to Miami, like most New Yorkers who could and have done. But the people who paid the price are the people who are so poor that they can't stay. So they're stuck in the trap that little Johnny has built. This is that indoctrination when we talk about they started very early and they just layer it on and on and on and on. It used to be that we did that for children to teach them patriotism. You learned the Pledge of Allegiance when you were in kindergarten, and you said the Pledge of Allegiance all the way through school, whether you wanted to or not. You did that because it taught you to be a patriot, and that's ingrained in your brain. What these kids are learning is to hate their nation. They're learning to hate freedom as the way we define it, right? They're embracing this Marxist culture, this communism, this socialism, because they think it's cool. Again, when we don't teach our children the truth, this is what we end up with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I still stand by what I said, because this is multiple years of this. So we're seeing generations that have been indoctrinated. So they probably don't have an issue with it, because the parents, if you think fifth graders, they're about 10 or 11 years old. So their parents were indoctrinated in their schools. So it's just been a generation after generation thing where they've been taught that this is the correct way to be. These things are true. Police are out here killing Black folks in the streets. Hands up, don't shoot, which we know was a lie. Okay. And now they're teaching their children. So the parents are not going to push back against it, because they're the result of the indoctrination as well. But we know U.S. policing has flaws. All right. We admit that. But the FBI and the DOJ have long data consistently showing most police shootings involve armed, resisting suspects. All right. Black folks are overrepresented, as in the arrest offenders, right, and victims due to these crime rates. But it's not systemic racism. Okay. And we talked about this on here before with studies from Roland Fryer at Harvard, who is a Black man who saw that what this really is. Okay. But these people don't want to see this. And teaching kids to fear and demonize cops at age 10 ignores that police prevent more violence than they cause. But it's a cycle that we will continue to see over and over again. And this is why, folks, we speak out against it. We got to get the word out. We got to get the truth out. Please, as you come in, hit that like button, share this broadcast, share it in a DM, share it on your social media. This is what we need to do in order to get the truth out, because their voices are louder than ours. They have mainstream TV, mainstream news. They have the culture. They have the movies. My God, I was watching a movie the other day. The social justice crap they are putting in these movies, it doesn't even make sense with the scripts. It doesn't make sense. And they continue to put it in. They're putting it in the movies now, the lies.